All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the This Is Raleigh podcast. Today we're adventuring very close by to one of our triangle cities, Durham. It's only 20 minutes from Raleigh, and there are so many cool things to see and do there. Now, Craig and I, over this summer, and our girls, instead of taking a trip somewhere, because we all know travel at the moment is absolutely bonkers, we are instead exploring the Raleigh area, taking day trips. And one reason we absolutely love living here is that we have so many incredible places that we can visit at our doorstep. And so we recently visited Durham for a one-night stay. Easy to do in a day trip. You could stay 2 nights or even longer. There's so much to see and do. So we're going to chat about why we love Durham, why we think it makes a really great day adventure, or further than a day.
Yes.
More than a day, I should say.
Durham, or Bull City, as it's known as well. We'll chat about. But yeah, we've got friends who live in Durham. We first moved here since 2004. We used to visit their house a lot and did a few things in Durham, like go to a Bulls game or, go to one of the breweries and stuff. But we didn't used to go to Durham much, but it has evolved a ton over the years. And as you mentioned, it's one of the triangle cities, the Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill area. And just don't mention Raleigh, Durham in the same name. Some people get upset. But yeah, obviously each of the 3 triangle cities has its own personality and offerings. And yeah, Durham's fantastic. And yeah, 30 minutes up the 40 and you're there. But first, before we dive into the episode, we want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of our podcast, Blackwell Mortgage, and April Blackwell, who customizes mortgage plans so that you can live your best life. Blackwell Mortgage is purpose-driven and donates funds to support children and families in need with every loan closed.
Yes, we personally used April's services to finance our home purchase here in Raleigh last year, and we loved her experience and knowledge in the industry, and her personal touch and communication was exceptional. She was quick to answer any questions that we had and run the numbers on the offers that we submitted. If you need to finance a home, go to blackwellmortgagenc.com to schedule a consultation and tell her cousin Craig from This Is Raleigh sent you, and that website will be in the show notes as well.
Yes.
For an easy click through.
Yeah, there you go. All right, back to Durham. So a lot of history in Durham. Black Wall Street in the early 1900s was a thriving hub of African-American business activity.
It was, and you can, in downtown Durham, go to see that Black Wall Street area, and it's always had that Black American entrepreneurial spirit in Durham, which is still continuing on today and thriving. One thing I absolutely love about Durham, and I think it's a city that does this really well, they work really well to tell the inclusive story of that city, putting their Black history at the forefront, their Black art, culture, and I just feel that when you go there, but not just Black, but other minorities as well. They have a strong story of the LGBTQ community, sharing, the businesses that are owned and friendly. You'll see flags and things all around, just supporting the catchphrase that y'all welcome.
Yeah, civil rights, some awesome murals and stuff, and yeah, they do a great job.
They really do.
Yeah, Bull City is also well known for Duke University, obviously, and the world famous Durham Bulls baseball team, and also has its tobacco history. But after the death of the tobacco industry, became known as like cultural art and a food hub, and was recently named as one of the tastiest town in the South.
It was, and fun fact, it still is the tastiest town. In the South, no one has taken over that title because Durham was the actual last one to win it. They stopped doing the competition after that. So they're the reigning champs for like 10 years, I think, now.
2013, I think they stopped giving out the awards. So
Durham's still it.
Eternally known as the tastiest town in the South. Yeah, and they have a lot of award-winning chefs that now call Durham home. And yeah, the food scene is, thriving.
And it is nicknamed the Bull City. I'm sure a lot of you know that. You can go to the downtown square and see the big bull there, and the bulls at the stadium. It's everywhere all over the city. And it was called that, not really having anything to do with bulls, but it was a nickname given by the Blackwell Tobacco Company when it named one of its products the Bull Durham Tobacco. So it became the Bull City.
There you go. Dub Bulls. Not the Chicago Bulls, but yeah, the Durham Bulls.
That's right. And
cool.
So now we have,
Yeah,
Durham
we love
Bulls
Durham, like
movie.
you said, on its focus on local. Like you won't find too many like high-rises or big corporations here, but it's become a hub for innovative startups and creatives, and it's like I think it's ranked like the third educated city in the US.
I would believe it.
But yeah, lots of awesome locally owned independent restaurants and cafes, and I forget the actual percentage, but it's high.
I think we were chatting with to Visit Durham the other day, and Margaret was telling us, I'm pretty sure I remember that 85% of the businesses in the downtown area are NC owned, with around 70-something% of those being actually Durham owned.
Yeah.
So
cool.
another round of applause for Durham. That's awesome. Supporting local and supporting an inclusive community.
Yeah. Well done, Durham.
Love it.
All right. Lots to do there. Let's start off with place we went to in the spring, Sarah P. Duke Gardens, which are fantastic. They're on Duke University on the West Campus, and they're one of the premier public gardens in the US, actually. Huge too, like 55 acres and 5 miles of like walking trails and stuff, and it's divided up into like 4 or 5 sections, like of different features, and like there's like bamboo forest, there's like a Japanese garden, there's a like an education area for the kids. Yeah, it's we've been to a lot of gardens around the world, and Duke Gardens is pretty cool.
I thought they were fantastic, and it's free to get in. Obviously spring's going to be probably the best time. We saw tulips there and roses, and it was just so beautiful. Great experience. Go and check it out. Take a picnic lunch. There's a big grassed area there. You can sit and have a picnic, throw some balls around if you want to do that. They have a little store there that sells great ice cream, which I believe are locally owned. Really pretty place. And then it's right near Duke University. So while you're over there, if you haven't been to see Duke University, I recommend that you do. It was actually the very first thing I saw in America. I was staying nearby when I first arrived at the hotel near there, and I just went for a random walk one afternoon and stumbled upon the Gothic style architecture of Duke University. I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. Beautiful campus, probably one of the prettiest in the US. So get out there, check that out, and you can go to the famous chapel while you're there.
Yeah, the chapel's unbelievable. I mean, and the stone, I love the stone that it's constructed of, like the Duke buildings. Like, it's called volcanic stone, and it's actually from a quarry in Hillsborough nearby.
Oh, I never knew that.
Known as Hillsborough Bluestone. Yeah, it's very striking. I mean, as you probably know, if you've been listening to us for a while, we're big Tar Heel fans, obviously massive rivals of Duke, just 8 miles down the road. But yeah, Duke is a very impressive campus to walk around.
The chapel's great.
The Duke Chapel's very impressive. It's Gothic inspired.
Yeah, it's very European in feel.
Yeah. Apparently the acoustics in there are phenomenal. If you want to go and listen to a choir or something. But yeah, walk around Duke campus, check out the buildings, the gardens, and also obviously Duke's big in basketball, and they've got a basketball museum and sports hall of fame that we've wandered through with all the old memorabilia and stories and photos and trophies and stuff, and the who's who of Duke sports.
Basketball fan, go check it out. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mentioned tobacco history, but after the decline of the tobacco industry, the American Tobacco Historic District in downtown Durham, formerly the headquarters of the tobacco company and Lucky Strike Cigarettes, which was abandoned in late 80s and has now been redeveloped into a live, work and play district with like restaurants and bars and business owners and stuff like that. There's even a man-made river, and also incorporates the Durham Bulls Athletic Park and a radio station and a culinary school.
It's a really great place if you're a Burt's Bees fan. It's the headquarters now of
That's
Burt's
right.
Bees. You can see the little cabin where the founder actually lived in Maine. I don't think it's a replica. I think they actually brought it down. Worth checking out. We loved, actually, on our last trip last week, over at the athletic park, there is a new cafe there, Press, and I was very impressed with their coffee, and it has a real French feel. They do crepes. Our girls had a crepe and loved that. I liked that place a lot. Thought it was great.
Yeah, it was cool. And I mentioned part of the Tobacco Historic District is the Bulls baseball stadium, and that's one of our favourite things to do in the Triangle area. Go to a Bulls game. They're world famous. Obviously, you've heard of the movie. What's his name? Kevin Costner and Susan Sarandon. Bull Durham. I have to watch it again. But yeah, they're a AAA minor league baseball team, and I believe affiliated with the Tampa Bay Rays. But then they currently play in the International League, and it's a super fun family day out. We've been to a few Friday night games, and we've been to a game on July 4th, and they have spectacular fireworks.
They're very impressive fireworks. We couldn't believe it when we saw it. It was like, wow, this is just for Durham Bulls, the fireworks.
Like New Year's Eve, it just kept going and going and going. So
it's really good. But yeah, it really is a fun. We actually have a entire post on it on the blog, so you can get lots of tips and see how we experience our time there to make it great. But it's just a really good, fun couple of hours, and I find the outlook from there, the views are just really pretty view of Durham, especially when the sun's setting and those colours are just lighting up and surrounding the field. It's just a lovely place to be.
Yeah, there's an old Durham Bulls baseball park not far from this stadium. Like, this is the newer stadium. I mean, built in 1994, so it's more modern and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a great location. And we love Tobacco Road Sports Cafe.
Yeah.
You can go in there for a bite to eat and a drink, and they've got a deck that overlooks the outfield. So you can stand out there, have a beer and watch the game. If you get tickets to the game, you can walk into there too. And otherwise you get obviously tickets in the seats, but a fun thing we would like to do is get the cheap seats, $10 tickets. I think they're maybe $11 or whatever. I mean, actually the prices have probably gone up. But get tickets just for the grass hill and just walk around and stand at the bars and watch the game.
Yeah.
Because we didn't grow up with baseball. I don't need to sit and watch every hit or pitch for how many hours it goes for. It's kind of like a game where you can just, glance at and what have you.
It's very much like a cricket experience. If you don't know, cricket's Australia's national sport, and it's a game they play all day. Sometimes the games go for 5 days and the result is a draw. That's a whole nother podcast episode to talk about cricket. But
no, we won't be doing that.
The experience is the same. It's really something you go and do with a group of people, whether that's friends or family, and you're in the sun, the drinks might be flowing, you're just having a great time, hanging out with your mates, and then every now and then glancing at the very slow-moving sport and then screaming when the one-off exciting moment happens. But it's about the experience
of the bat on the ball. You turn around and pay attention. and see the guy running the bases. But no, it's relaxing. It's like I said, you don't have to watch every pitch and hit.
No, and we've done a few baseball games now around around America, and I find, apart from Fenway, which I don't think anything for a cultural baseball experience can beat the Red Sox at Fenway. Apart from that, Durham is actually my favourite place to watch the baseball. I think it just has the all over great feel. It feels very much like a southern, but North Carolina southern, more maybe the Triangle southern kind of atmosphere, where it's just vibrant. That's the tagline, the pursuit of a vibrant life for This Is Raleigh. I find that the Durham Bulls really has the integrity of that feeling, where it's laid back, everyone's just having a good time, chatting, having fun with the friends. You're in the beautiful, balmy temperatures of the evening. It's just a very cool experience.
Yeah, it's a nice sized stadium, like not too big, and you could, no matter where you're sitting, you get a good view of the game.
Yep.
Like, we've been to some massive concrete baseball parks, like in the Dodgers Stadium in LA and Atlanta and stuff, and it's kind of lacking a bit of
Just connection between people or something.
Yeah.
No, it's hard to. It's an energy thing. It's hard to describe it.
Yeah. No, the Durham Bulls is cool. So definitely put that on your list of one of the things to do in Durham. And like I said, just 30 minutes up the road from Raleigh.
Yeah, and we've been talking a lot lately. We haven't done this yet, but we would like to be able to just jump on the train, because a lot of people tell us they just catch the train up to Durham and do things, go to the game or whatever, and then catch a train back. We haven't dived into the research yet to figure out how that aligns with train times and everything.
No.
But if you can make that work, that's a pretty fun way to get up there and experience it.
Yeah, because we were just talking about that coming back from our 2-week trip in London, how we just jumped on the tube and the train and went everywhere, and we come back, let's go to Bull Games. We're like, oh, somebody has to drive, can't drink. But yeah. The train sounds like a good option. Love to check that out.
Yeah, it's fun. And then before or after the game, the stadium's right in downtown, so you could easily go and eat somewhere, grab a drink somewhere before or after the game, and, you know, just add to that baseball experience.
Yeah, if you really want to, just stay over the night in a hotel. Then you can really party it up, because there's a lot of cool bars and stuff we can talk about later too.
And then right next to the stadium, that they've built out that area so well, is the Durham Performing Arts Centre. DPAC. And we're just so lucky in the Triangle to have that at our doorstep, because they have these incredible shows coming through, performances. Broadway shows will come and do their little travelling tours there often. I think Hamilton was recently there.
It was.
I went and saw Les Mis with a friend there, and it's just fantastic. So that's another great thing to do in Durham, connecting to that Durham arts and culture vibe that they have happening there in the city. So keep an eye out for some of your favourite Broadway shows that might be visiting, comedy shows, all sorts of things happening at DPAC.
Yeah, I need to go there and get there and see something. Speaking of comedy shows, I believe the man Joe Rogan was there at some stage on his tour, if you're into that. But yeah.
I like some of his podcast episodes, but when he interviewed Miley Cyrus.
I've actually never listened to him. I'm a bit of a UFC fan, so I see him commentating on the fights, but I've never actually seen him do a stand-up.
Me neither,
comedy
so
gig,
no judgment. Could be great.
Whatever. Back to Duke quickly. Duke has a lot of things going on, but another awesome cool thing there is the Duke Lima Centre.
Lima
Centre. I knew I was going to get that wrong. Lima. I know they're called Limas. What did I say? Oh, I need another coffee. We went there a few years ago, and it's a research centre which focuses on the behaviour and social side of looking after the lemurs, and they have a lot of cool programs going on there through Duke University and take care of the lemurs. Yeah, they do a lot of sustainability programs over in Madagascar. They actually fly teams over there and they do research and things to help, protect our endangered lemurs, because I'm pretty sure they are endangered. Yeah, actually the Duke Lima Centre has the most lemurs in the world outside of Madagascar. They do. Which is pretty cool. They're doing really good things. You can go there and do a tour. You can get up close to the lemurs and see them doing their lemur antics. They're just such funny, cute animals. They are short-staffed at the moment, given everything that is happening around the world. So do plan ahead. I think you have to book in a time to tour. Yeah, you do have to have a reservation to visit the centre. So keep that in mind. But yeah, we'll link to their website in the show notes. Yeah, but really great thing to experience and see what they're doing there, especially have kids. The best way to learn is first-hand experiences like that rather than from a textbook. So take the kids there. Yeah, speaking of kids, one of the best things to do in Durham and in the Triangle with kids is the Museum of Life and Sciences, which is it's a cool interactive museum inside and out, and it's huge. It is. Over 84 acres, like outdoor exhibits. There's a 2-story science centre, and safe haven. There's safe havens outside for rescued black bears, lemurs again, and endangered red wolves. That's right. Remember we saw them there. Yeah, there's heaps of cool climbing activities, and the tree houses are awesome. Really, and indoors, all hands-on stuff. Like our kids and us, as far as museums, if it's interactive, it's more interesting. But. Yeah, it's outstanding. And here's a tip. I believe it is part of the Children's Museum Pass. So, if you might just
do your research to double check on this. But if you don't know about the Children's Museum Pass, you can buy an annual membership pass. And so our closest one is Marbles.
Mm-hmm.
So you could get a year-long annual pass there, and that gives you access to children's museums, some science museums all around the country if they're connected through this membership reciprocal program. And for families, especially if you travel a lot and you have smaller kids, this is a really great pass to get because it will save you a lot of money and it will help you keep the kids entertained. Especially here, we're hit summer, it's hot, it's probably week 2 or 3 of your summer break and parents are probably already starting to go crazy.
Pulling your hair out. One of these passes would be great because then we used to take our daughter all the time to Marbles. I think double check, but I think you could take them to this museum and they would absolutely love running around out there. Yeah. Anyway, you could. It's a big place. You could spend several hours there to keep your kids entertained.
Yeah.
Super popular. So go check that out. Back to Duke again for 2 more things. Art museum we went to on our staycation the other day, which was pretty cool. The Nasho Museum of Art at Duke. It's a 65,000 square foot museum, which has permanent collections including medieval art, pre-Columbian American works, classical pieces, and a growing list of modern and contemporary works, and revolving collections as well from exhibits that travel around the world.
Yeah.
And the building was super impressive.
It really was. I can't believe we'd never heard of it before, but really worth visiting, especially if you love art.
Mm-hmm.
I was very impressed with it. You don't need a lot of time there. It is quite small. I was impressed with the collection. Again, coming back to Durham, really making an effort to tell for inclusivity. There was a lot of Black American artists there and artists from other culture, a lot of women artists, which I just really enjoyed. I think it's very much worth going for a visit, and they've just recently received a grant, which means it's now free for everyone to visit.
Gotta love free.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you love your art museums, definitely check out the Nasho Museum of Art at Duke.
And good for kids too. I was, because our girls have been to many museums and things, and I was worried that they're going to like this, but they did really enjoy it. And even our teen said to me, this is really good. So it's teen approved.
Teen approved.
Any parent with teens would know how difficult it is to get a teen approval. So there you go. I think that's all you need to know about the Nasho Art Museum.
Well done.
Teen approved. Stamp it.
Yeah, and while you're in that area, close nearby is the Satellite Park at Duke Arts Annex, which was a former telecommunications facility located between the east and west campuses, which is no longer needed, obviously, with the when the internet came along. But Mural Durham is a group that activates and nurtures large-scale art projects across Durham. So they commissioned 8 local artists to create a one-of-a-kind community park, and it's a hidden gem in Durham. Like, you don't need long there again.
Literally
But
and figuratively it is.
Yeah.
It's hard to find.
Not
but
really.
it's also...
Not too hard.
No, it's kind of tucked away. But here's a tip to do before you go there or after. Just right near there, you can walk between the both, is Grub. And that's in an old gas station. Has an outdoor seating, rooftop bar area and indoors. Really great food.
Mm-hmm.
So we went there, we had lunch, awesome lunch, and then just down the road from there you could walk is the Satellite Park. And the Satellite Park was really cool. You don't need a lot of time there.
No.
If you love murals, if you love photos of murals, if you love dancing in front of murals, doing handstands and all of that kind of stuff, then you'll really love the uniqueness of the Satellite Park.
Yeah, get your TikToks and your Instagram shots.
It's all about that
there
now.
You go.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Grub was an old gas station. Had great burgers, like tasty, juicy burgers. Yeah, super
really
popular.
was very good.
And LGBT owned too.
That's right.
Burgers, bowls, and sandwiches. But I don't think you can go wrong with any of the food there.
No, and they have breakfast too.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do brunch, breakfast, lunch.
Yeah.
Take your pick.
If you love your records, obviously records are back. We've been getting into the collecting records again.
Mm-hmm.
On 9th Street is Hunky Dory Records. Now, you might be familiar with Hunky Dory Records in Raleigh. in the seaboard area. But the original store is on 9th Street in Durham, which we stumbled upon. And it's cool. You can go in there and have a beer. There's a little bar there and walk around and check out the records for sale.
Yeah, it's much bigger than the one in Raleigh, and there's 2 levels. You can go downstairs. That's more like the dollar specials, but they have a record player there, so you can just put the records on, whatever you want to listen to, see if you might want to buy it, have a drink while you're doing it. It's a cool place to hang out.
Yeah. Speaking of 9th Street, if you're looking for somewhere for breakfast, they have the iconic Elmo's Diner, which is your typical diner food, which is a cool spot. We've had breakfast there one time, twice actually.
Twice, yep.
9th Street's, it's quite short. Just find a parking spot, walk up and down it. There's other few shops and that's there to look out for. And Burger Back as well, which is a New Zealand-inspired burger bar that we've had lunch at one time. So, yeah, few cool things on 9th Street. But what's the first thing we do when we go to Durham every time, and where do we go?
Usually we go and get a coffee from Cocoa Cinnamon, and they have locations.
3 locations.
3 locations. We tend to go to the lakeside location, which is more towards Durham, Duke University area. Yeah. But they're all great. I just like getting the Frida Kao coffee there. So they're very unique flavours, and each of the locations has a different vibe. So the one at Lakeside is a Latino vibe, and they have churros there, which our kids love.
The one in downtown is the original store, I believe, and near the old baseball park where we went to the beer fest way back in the days. But yeah, Cacao Cinnamon, great coffees. And they started out by the owner was just biking around the streets in Durham, offering coffee to workers and farmer market addicts.
Yep, and
now
you can see that bicycle actually in the lakeside
one.
Yeah,
and now she's got 3 brick and mortar places, and her Little Waves coffee is award winning as well. So they know how to do coffee and beans.
They do. The coffee's good.
As you mentioned, Press is another great option.
Yeah, good coffee.
And the other coffee shop we went to the other day near the east campus of Duke, the name escapes me. Kolsch. Starts with a C though.
Kolsch. It's a French word for a bell-shaped glass that you put over pastries.
There you go. But it has plant-inspired store. It was cool vibes.
Yeah, well, it's very cool. So you can go and sit in there. A lot of workers in there. Great place to chill out and tap a few keys.
Yeah. Where else are we eating and drinking in Durham? Luna and rotisserie and empanadas.
Yeah.
We had dinner at the other night.
It's great. Wonderful South American food, great flavours, good cocktails, very casual atmosphere. It's a good place to go and eat. Great stuff for kids as well, so it should suit everyone in the family.
Yeah, good sized portions. We had to get some to-go boxes.
We did.
Quite full.
Yeah, the portions were huge. And I'm just trying to think what we had. The plantains, they were delicious.
We had some brisket.
Brisket was good.
And chicken.
Yep.
So it's South American in the American South, as they say.
Yeah, bring South American food with the southern flair.
You have South American inspired cocktails and, full bar wines and what have you.
It's great. My mezcal was smoky and spicy, just how I like it.
Alley 26, if you're into cocktails and sophisticated bars, we still have not been there yet.
No, we haven't, because and we met the chef at Bubbles and Brisket recently and was talking to her, and it's not for kids, only if there's babies, so it's a bit hard for us to get there to Durham.
Yeah, we need to do a couples getaway. And Alley 26, but they're always up for awards and seem like, come highly recommended.
It does,
great cocktails and stuff and small menu. Another place, M Sushi, if you love your sushi, which our eldest daughter does, and you may have heard of them opening a location in the new Fenton development in Carey, which will be great. We can check that out. But yeah, M Sushi is one of the most popular places to eat in Durham. As well as, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this bakery cafe name, Guggulhopf.
Guggulhopf. It's German.
Yeah, it is
German for good bakery. I don't know that. I'm just being silly, just in case.
Yeah, we've had lunch at this place a couple of times, but yeah, good selection of sandwiches and entrees.
Yep.
And
You like your schnitzel and your sauerkraut.
Yeah.
That's where you want to go.
Seasoning,
Good food.
local and seasonal ingredients with a southern German twist. Where else? Oh, burgers. Get on the burgers. Bull City Brewery and Burger. We've been there many times. They have good burgers.
Yeah, they do.
Grass-fed beef and good beers too. Like it's a burger and brewery combined. Can't go wrong with that.
No.
And also Bill McCabe's Irish Pub is right in the heart of downtown. And they've got a nice big beer garden area that you can sit outside.
Yeah, that is a good spot. A nice sunny afternoon. Lots of space. And we had a new ice cream experience, not really ice cream, in Durham the other night at Simon Says Dip It. Or dip this. Simon says
Dip this.
Dip this. And it's not really ice cream because it's custard, frozen custard. That was the first time I've actually had frozen custard, and I really liked it. I think I like it more than ice cream, not as kind of sweet.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's an interesting way of doing it. And so you go in, you get your frozen custard in a cup or a cone, and then they layer it with a different flavours. I had passion fruit. A lot of people have chocolate. A layer of sauce which hardens on the ice cream because they pour it out warm. It hardens on the custard, and then you can put all different toppings and things on it. So they can be super elaborate. You can put like Oreos on there and gummy bears and just make them like those ridiculous things that look really good but will probably give you a heart attack. But I just went simple with passion fruit and coconut, but it was delicious.
I had a bourbon chocolate flavour, which was addictive.
Yeah, so they were
Dangerously.
good. I don't recommend getting the large size. I found the regular was too big.
Oh, yeah.
We couldn't even finish that. So I think
Yeah,
they
we
need
could've
to
shared
introduce a small. They don't have a small size, but I think a small size might be
America.
a good introduction to it. The kids will love it for sure.
Yeah, but if you love ice cream, the other place in town is the Parlour. Popular local ice cream shop right near the bull statue in downtown.
Yep.
And they began by the owners were serving their handmade ice cream in a modified pink painted mini school bus all over the triangle.
Love it.
Very cool.
Locally owned, as the Simon says.
And by memory, they have
owned.
gluten-free cones. Is that right?
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
I think they do.
But there you go.
Yeah.
Don't quote us on that. And just while we're there in that square area in Durham, across is the Scripted Hotel, which is unscripted, sorry. The retro designed, it only opened a few years ago, just before the pandemic, I think, after it had been renovated and all that. But it's a cool, funky place to go. And that's a nice place to sit at sunset for a drink and overlook the square, and you also get the pretty colours in the sky and stuff up there.
Yeah, it's a former old motor lodge, which they revamped into a funky, vibey, retro
It's fun.
motel. Rooftop pool and deck area.
Yeah, so in the summer they have the pool there, so I
Pool
don't
parties
know.
and music and stuff.
I don't know how much you have to pay, if it's ticketed, all of that, but there is that up there.
Yeah,
up
and
there
during
for
the
an
winter they
option.
have those like
Igloos.
igloo things that look pretty cool.
Yep.
But yeah, one other thing we haven't done in Durham yet, which I really want to do, is high tea or afternoon tea at the Washington Duke Inn, especially after our London trip, which, you know, the Brits, they love their afternoon tea.
They do.
Go a little bit fancy. It was cool. Yeah, so that's a popular thing to do out there, high tea at the Washington Duke Inn and Golf Club. Other places you can eat and drink is at the Brightleaf Square. We haven't spent a lot of time there either.
No,
But,
we haven't.
And
Next trip.
And the 9th Street Bakery, of course, very popular. What else in Durham?
And we just discovered too a very cool wine bar.
Killer
Queen wine bar.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was great. I loved it. Women are going to love it. It's very feminine energy, the Queen energy, like women who rock, kind of that, you know, powerful sort of mystical energy. I sat down and with my daughter Savannah.
You were feeling it?
I was feeling it. We did tarot reading together because there was a tarot reading deck there. So it's just that quirky kind of fun place. There's angel wings out the back, a mural. You can go get your photo there. Mm-hmm. Really cool vibing wine bar.
Yeah, it was. I liked it a lot. If you like beer, Durham has some cool breweries, like Full Steam. It's probably one of the most well-known. and Ponysaurus, Dirty Bull. There's High Wires out there. I can link to a list of the breweries in the show notes. But yeah, Durham does some good beer as well.
They do. They have a lot of
And
breweries.
what was that other bar we went to pre-dinner? Is it Queenies or something as well in the name?
It was Queenies.
Queenies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool cocktail bar as well.
Kind of local spot, hangout spot.
If you love your pizza, we've had good pizza at Pomperi Pizza and Pie Pushers, but everyone raves about and wants us to go to Pizza Toro. Apparently that's the bomb.
All right. Well, we're coming. Next visit.
Yeah. Yeah. Go and eat and drink your way around Durham and check out all the arts and
the
culture and
murals.
stuff.
You can pick up from the visitor centre. There's a mural finder book and an arts book. So you can pick up both. And it will tell you, there's a map, it'll show you where all the murals in Durham are. You know, there's a photo there so you can identify them, and then it will tell you about each mural and the artist and the story behind it. So you can go around and check them all off. And then I believe if you check off maybe 5, you can go back to the visitor centre and they will give you a gift.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go.
That's a pretty cool visitor centre. Like that's one of our tips of a new destination. We always pop in there and talk to the staff, get the local tips, get the free maps and brochures and stuff. That's a good place to start and get your bearings.
Yeah. So there you go. Durham is a fun place. Guys, it's only 30-minute drive away. You can go stay the night if you want. The accommodation there is really cool, or just go for a day and you'll have a really great time. It's a great way to entertain the kids this summer break if you're going crazy. We know fuel prices are nuts, so you're not driving hours away. It's only 30 minutes. You'll find parking's really easy in Durham. Parking is cheap. And so you can have a great day out there.
Yeah. Yeah, we stayed in the new AC Hotel, which is over near the Duke Hospital. It's a pretty modern, cool, funky place.
It's a nice hotel. It's very nice.
But other options in downtown Durham is the Durham Hotel, which has a cool rooftop bar, and the 21C Hotel, which is an old bank. And you can go down into the vault and has the bar there is cool with some artwork and stuff.
Yeah, it's like a art museum / hotel.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the walls and stuff, you can walk around and see all the pieces that they have up there.
Yes.
It's cool.
Yeah, but that doesn't even scratch the surface of what there is to do in Durham. And we're going to have a Instagram video, a reel coming out soon of our 24 hours in Durham house staycation. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, and on TikTok, I'm putting little shorter clips of some of the different things we discovered out there. So don't forget we're on TikTok now at This Is Raleigh.
There you go. This is Raleigh everywhere.
Yep, and this is at This Is Raleigh on Instagram. In case you missed a couple of episodes back, I'm also now a licensed real estate agent. So if you're looking for that, if you're moving to the area, living in the area, I can help connect you with a realtor who can help you buy or sell a home, because I'm actually a referral agent. I connect people, save you the time and the hassle figuring it out for yourself.
Yep. Yes, you can go to thisisraleigh.com on the homepage and you can subscribe to our emails and do that. And then there's forms in the tab at the top under Live in Raleigh.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
For the real estate information.
Yes. And Kaz Craig at thisisraleigh.com is also our email. Before we sign off, thanks again to April from Blackwell Mortgage, who is the sponsor for this episode.
Yes. And we might see you out in Durham sometime, maybe at a Bulls game. In the future, we might even organise like a meetup, like people who want to go to the game, don't want to go by themselves, we can get a group together. Get some cheap seats and just walk around and stand in the bars and hang out.
The Durham Bulls
and then
with
bar
Kaz and
hop
Craig.
Durham, because it's Durham.
There
You
you
can
go.
walk everywhere. Once
You
you got to, park your car or take the train, and you can walk everywhere.
You really
downtown.
can walk everywhere. It's easy. All
right.
right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Remember to like this podcast, subscribe on your favourite platform if you haven't done that already, and leave us a review. That's really helpful. As Craig mentioned, you can join our newsletter over on thisisraleigh.com, and please share us with your friends. And we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.